Hello and welcome to Breaking Late. I'm your host Michael, and with me, as always, is JD. How's it going, mate?
Not too bad. How about yourself, mate? What do you think of the race last night?
Oh, it was great. Like, how good was that podium?
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
full on. Those Italians are crazy people, man.
I don't think Eddie Jordan had any control over Nico Rosberg there either. I think he just butted in and took it away and did what he wanted.
He was just having fun on this, and that was like, I loved the shot. Looking back, I think the FOM kept going back to that shot because there was that bloody bloke with a flag saying, "Please sign my flag."
Yeah,
flopping around in front of the camera all the time.
They do that every year. They have, some of them have a pole and they'll put like a hat on it and push it up to the drivers like, sign this.
Well, this one, the one that was last night, was a flag with a whiteboard that wrote, "Please sign my flag," with a pen. It was just, they kept hanging around in front of everyone. It was just crazy. No, but it was an interesting race, and it was lots of news and lots of stuff to talk about that's come out, not exactly from this race, but from this round.
Yeah, a lot of stuff just before the round.
Yeah,
a couple of big drivers announcing some big announcements.
Yeah, so we might as well
crack on.
Jump into our news segment. News. All right. Well, let's
the major news. I guess we shouldn't beat around the bush. Retirement.
Which one?
Well, Jensen hasn't announced it.
Jensen hasn't retired.
No, he hasn't. He's taking a sabbatical.
Jensen's having a sabbatical. He's taking next year off, and he will be a driver ambassador and help develop the car, I believe.
Yeah, and he's still going to be in the simulator lots, and he said he's going to still stay race fit, so he'll be ready. He just wanted a year where he didn't have to fly away 20 odd times to go to different race meetings plus practices and stuff like that, so he can be a bit of his own man.
I think it's good. He's earned a year off.
Mate, he could retire now and,
Do you think he'll come back?
He's done a great job, so...
Do you think he'll be able to come back after 12 months off? I mean, this is the big thing. You got to talk about. He's already at the point where a lot of people, and ourselves included, we gave him 2 years max.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't think he'll come back, but if McLaren bring out a flash car next year that's fighting for a championship...
You might be like, oi.
He might want to come back, and then you've got to worry about, okay, they've got 3 drivers. How do you handle that?
Get Ferrari on board and get three car teams back.
Yeah, well, they did talk about that for a while, but yeah, it'd be interesting.
It's interesting. Because we'll go straight back into this now. When Massa came out and announced that his retirement, straight up, I messaged you. Was like, well, Jensen's got a new home.
When, I sent you a message back saying, well, this is pretty obvious what's happened here. Jensen's obviously moving to Williams, and it's sort of pushed Massa aside, but I was completely wrong.
No, the Jensen's decision really blindsided me. I did not see that coming. I thought he might announce that he is moving to a different team or leaving McLaren at the end of the season, but to go out and be like, no, I'm taking a sabbatical, I'm going to take 12 months off and be a driver ambassador and still help development of the car, but not race. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Ted Kravitz actually brought it up on the Friday during practice. He said, we're getting a lot of rumours today that Jensen's leaving F1. And he had no real hard evidence on it. And then, was it Friday Arvo or Saturday morning or something? He come out and...
Yeah, I think late Friday, like after the last session on Friday, because I think I got it, Saturday morning or something.
Yeah. So they were onto it pretty quick there, and they were 100% right. So, and then the other big news from the meeting was Massa.
Yeah, Massa.
Felipe will be gone as of his 250th race will be his last.
I mean, that's a good, nice round number to finish up on. And Felipe's done lots. He's been there for years. Yeah,
it was a pretty magical coincidence, that 250 right on the dot.
Yeah. Just like, I finish off because then you go, I have to do another round number. I have to do 10 races. Do I do another 20? Do you have another season left in you? I like that he got to make the call because I didn't want him to be forced out. I think it's one of those things, if you've been in Formula One for these number of years, and like other sports too, I think if you've been in the thing for 15, 20 years, you should be allowed to... the team might come to you and be like, hey, this is what we would like to do. But, they should be allowed to say, all right, I'm going to retire on my own terms, even if you basically are getting pushed out.
Yeah, I agree. Give the man some dignity. There is a few rumours circling around that there was some sponsorship money was going to be leaving the team. So Massa's sponsors were going to be leaving the team as of next year because of some corruption stuff going on back in Brazil. So that's not the best news, but other than that, he's done a great job of his career, and good on him. He can go out on on his own terms. It's good.
What do you think he'll do? Some Brazilian stock car? That seems to be pretty popular. Frosty goes over and does that.
I actually think he'll be going to World Endurance.
Yeah.
There's a few rumours already going around about that.
Talking about World Endurance.
Possibly not.
Just a quick one.
Yeah, Weber.
Weber won last night.
Yeah, did a great job again. That Porsche's flying.
They had a drive-through and everything.
Yeah, no, good on them.
They handed the lead back over to the Audi after there was a botched pit call.
Oh,
where he was kind of come in and then they sent him stay out and he's across the pit line again. And then they're giving him a drive-through, but they still managed to come out and I think they won by like a couple of minutes.
Okay, that's awesome.
It was good on him. Like, good to see Weber still winning. And he got married too, in other news.
Did he really?
Weber finally tied the knot.
With these misses that he's been with forever?
With Anne. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good on him. Congratulations, guys.
Yep.
So, Kvyat, very rough interview after the Formula 1 was over and he was in the pen.
Yes. You were telling me about this earlier.
Yeah, it is. I can't believe they did it. It's so gut-wrenching. Like, they've come out with this rumour that Gasly has said something. So, Gasly's a GP2 driver that drives for Red Bull. He's winning the GP2 championship at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They basically, there's been rumours just come out that there's been a reporter announced that Gasly said to them that he will be driving in Singapore for Toro Rosso and Kvyat will be no longer there.
If it is found that he came out and said that and it's not true, you can't do that.
Oh, it's so but I just can't believe they blindsided him with it because he obviously knows nothing of it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't say anything. He was just stuck for words, completely stuck for words. So it was a real shocker.
Mm-hmm.
They went and interviewed Helmut Marko after that.
Yep.
And Helmut Marko kind of looked angry.
Oh, you would expect it. If someone's coming out and saying rumors like that and if they're not true.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to be on the phone straight away to Gasly. And we're going to square this up because he's not driving in Singapore for Toro Rosso.
Yeah, well,
that's completely untrue.
The first time I heard anything about that, I was watching Ted's Notebook, and he mentioned that. Ted said something about like, oh, it could be happening sooner than later, but Ted's like, I imagine more later than sooner.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't expect too much of it. And then you've come out and said it again, and I was like, wow. It's like I can't believe they just bombarded him in the pen, whatever you call it.
Yeah, the
media pen.
Media pen, yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe they'd come out there and just do that. I understand, they're going to be wanting to ask harder questions, but not just complete rumours.
To the man that looks like he's about to cry at every meeting you see him at.
Yeah, no, be nice to the kid. He's taking a hit. Like, his confidence must be at an all-time low.
Yeah, he's about to lose his drive, regardless. And, it's not very professional without any proof. They're coming out and slinging mud.
Mm.
So, yeah, anyway, chin up, boy.
Yeah.
Moving on, F1. Looks like it could be sold, eh?
Yeah, I'm actually buying it.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Good.
I got a spare.
Have you got a spare $10? I need some fuel money. That's all.
Nah. Spend it all on F1. No, so it looks like CVC Capital is selling up.
Yeah, big media company.
To Virgin Media, I think. I read something in Forbes.com because I read those type of articles. Yeah, and I was saying that it's pretty much like a done deal. And Eddie Jordan came out yesterday out the race and said on Channel 4 or C4 it's called in Britain that Bernie could be stepping down after Singapore.
Yeah, that's really big news because Bernie's been at pretty much every race meeting forever.
Yeah.
He's as old as F1 nearly.
He still owns 5%.
Yeah. Even after this deal's done, is that right? I think
because it's not his. He owned majority of it, I think, originally.
Yep.
Then sold it to like CVC.
Yep.
CVC sold some of their shares off, their stock off, in 2012, and now they're looking at getting rid of Formula One for them. Like they don't want to be part of it anymore. Virgin Media is the alleged buyer. And yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what percentage they've got, but yeah, I think Bernie's got like 5 or 4.5 or something %. And I don't think that's in dispute. They're not trying to sell that
Yeah.
because only CVC can sell their shares.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, it's big news for Formula One.
But I'm hoping that if it is a media company selling it, that they will promote the spectacle that is Formula One. Like, if you just look at the crowds that are at Monza, down that straight, and the
Unbelievable.
amount, like, huge amounts of people,
Yeah.
flags, flares. God, you could not do that in
Italy is one of the
Australia.
most passionate.
Passion is an
for
understatement.
motorsport.
How crazy they go for
But
motorsport.
we need to introduce a bit more passion, I think, in other cities.
Downside of passion in Monza, if the two Ferraris do crash out, half your crowd will leave before the end of the race.
Yeah.
And that's happened before.
Yep.
Little downside, but
Yeah, they wear their.
but when
their
they
heart
read
on the
on
sleeve.
yeah.
There's no line that they are Ferrari through and through, and that's it.
How big was the cheer for Vettel
Yeah.
when he got on the podium?
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah. It's the best podium of the year by
It
far.
is.
The way it's designed, even.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we haven't designed a podium like that in a lot of other places.
I know. It's actually really cool because you walk out, you're over the
Track, pretty much.
track, yeah.
Yeah.
And because they open it up and let everyone go onto the track, it's
Like
great.
when Jess and I were at Singapore, that was unbelievable. We ran along the straight because Daniel Ricciardo got on the podium and everything, and we got down there, and then there's just big chain mesh fences and stuff. Like, we're not that far away from the podium, but still, to have them pretty much over top of all the people, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, you get those big flags. We touched on this at the start of the show. But yeah, you get those flags that are in the bloody way.
Yeah.
Do you have any other?
On other news?
Do you have any other F1 news?
No, there is a lot of little stuff going on with there's a few rumors flying around with
those type of rumors. I don't know. It's like by the time we go to live, they could be sold. But most things.
I don't think these ones will be going anywhere. I think that it's more about Renault's drivers. I don't think they're going to turn up next year with the same driver lineup. No. I think Paul Palmer is going to be replaced. Yeah, minimum.
We were looking at that before. He's like 20th in the driver standings with no points, and you got Kevin Magnussen in 16th with 6 points.
One thing I did see that was quite interesting. I thought Williams would go for another already developed driver and try and stick him in their team, but rumors are that they're going for another young bloke, bringing him up from Formula 3. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's. I
think it's
next
a
year.
Big risk.
Next year is gonna be unbelievable. We're gonna have so much new blood in the system and so new cars.
Big tires.
Big tires, yes.
Little wings.
Well, still big wings, but yeah.
Big tires.
Really big tires.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the cars.
Yeah. No, it's going to be amazing.
We'll jump across to the Australian Race Series.
Yes. V8 Supercars. Virgin Australian Supercars.
It's all right. I can still call it V8s. You can type v8s.com.au into the website and you'll still get there.
Yeah.
So it's fine. The V8 Supergirls.
Yes, Michael.
They originally started off as a 2-year deal with Harvey Norman backing under the ProDrive banner. They did their first year in the Falcon. It's looking like this year, no Falcon for them. Might be swapping it for a Nissan.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They could be moving there. I think there's some other stuff going on in the background there, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's looking like this could be a trial to see if we can get Samoa into the main game. V8 Supercars came out last year and pretty much announced, I think it's got like $1 million basically they've organised all the sponsors that they'll need to field a car if it's for a female driver.
Yep.
They really want to promote, get a female driver into the field. When NASCAR did it, it was huge for their ratings. Not this, we just want to promote the sport in general, want to get more people involved. And yeah, so if we can get a female into there, at the moment, James Walburn's come out and basically said that if it's not Simona Di Silvestro, it's going to be no one next year. So that's the only one they're looking at. And I think that's good because in this driver pairing, Renee Gracie is not ready for a main game stint.
No, definitely not. I don't think she's ready for it.
She's got a bit more competition now.
Yeah, and with Chelsea in the development series, I think it's going to be interesting to watch in the next year or so who's going to be because obviously Simona's not an Australian.
Yeah.
That's nothing to stop her racing here or whatnot. It's great that we have international drivers. I think there should be more.
Yeah, I'd like to see more.
But for the first Australian girl to get a full-time gig, it'd be interesting to see. I think this Chelsea Arrigo is going to go a long way. If she can get some backing to help her get on the track and get some more seat time.
She needs it. You were saying before she couldn't even race in Townsville.
Yeah, they come up short for Townsville, which is a real shame. So they couldn't even race in Townsville.
It's about what, $60,000 a meeting.
Yeah,
for a Dunlop series.
roughly without breakages, you're looking at $60,000 a meeting, depending on what team. Some teams probably a little bit more, and some teams a little bit less. But 60 is a ballpark figure, and I guess with those road courses, it's probably more.
Oh yeah, especially because you don't get any practice on street circuits other than that. Like that's probably the only time these guys have ever driven on a street circuit.
Oh, yep, definitely. Yep, there's bugger all.
That's what I always think. Like, it must be a big learning curve for any Dunlop drivers. Their first race, Calypso.
They don't get much testing time either. So
no,
it is a real shame for them. They bugger all testing time, so they're really shoved in there. And I think you can see it. Their times really develop over the weekend, not just with the tracks they're developing, but they're learning the track. And
I think a lot of the younger drivers show the biggest improvement over the weekend.
So, no, good on them. Everyone keep pushing, but it'll be interesting to see whether Simona gets in the full-time gig next year. I'm kind of hoping that she does.
Yeah, I would like to see her in there.
I think Dale Wood will probably be gone, and there are rumours about another Nissan driver leaving and also another driver coming.
Yeah, well, the other driver that's heavily tipped towards to go to Nissan is James Courtney.
Yeah, that's big news. So
and this could be also, I think this is also on Nissan's head motorsport, want the big drivers on it, because they really, like, nothing taking away from Todd and Rick and Caruso and Dale at the moment, but they really don't have that huge number one driver.
No.
They don't have the consistent race winner.
Yep, agreed.
And I think they need like a lead driver like a Courtney.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I think Courtney is a draw card, not just for viewers to be barracking for the team, but for sponsorship.
Sponsors, you get Samoa and Courtney.
Yep.
And Rick. And see, this is what we're discussing. Todd should drop and become the team manager.
Yep.
Keep Caruso.
Yeah, I agree. I think Caruso and Rick should go on to next year.
Yep.
I think Dale, unfortunately for Dale Wood, he hasn't. He's just been too inconsistent, and he's just been not fast enough.
He's had his own backing the whole time. He's galvanized. He brought that across.
Yeah.
Without that, I don't think he would have. I like Dale. He's a nice guy. He's friendly, easy to talk to, but I don't think he's proved himself enough in this series.
Yep. And someone chucking a Courtney in there might be good for him.
Yeah.
I think actually probably would suit Courtney too. He's a bit of a fun sort of racer and that.
Yeah,
and I think
this
it'd be
team,
with
they
some
could,
good.
You know, they're going to build a car around him. I know they're doing it as well at HRT, Walkinshaw. But you got another big name driver like Garth Tander there as well.
Yeah. So, and it'll be interesting to see where Garth goes. Because there was, you were talking about it earlier actually, the rumours with where Scotty Pye might end up.
Yeah, well, there's, well now,
maybe
with Holden leaving, with HRT backing going.
Yep.
So Walkinshaw's now without the major backer. With Courtney looking at going, it's opened up a spot for Scotty Pye, which is fantastic because we both said he shouldn't leave the category next year.
Definitely not.
He doesn't deserve. I think his driving well and truly shows that he needs to drive next season.
Agreed, mate. Definitely. I think he should be there next year. Definitely.
And then little backstory, guys. The computer died halfway through, so we've already recorded this, but it got not recorded. So we're trying to remember exactly what we said. But I did bring up going with Walkinshaw leaving with HRT leaving Walkinshaw. Clean slate.
Yep.
Get rid of Garth because you got to think that Garth's going to be asking. Garth and James are probably asking for like $1 million a year.
Yeah. I was watching Inside Supercars last night, night before or something. Anyway, and they were talking about Courtney.
Yeah.
Now, reports are that he's actually on about $1 million a year at the moment, which is quite a big salary packet for a V8 supercar driver. Most of the drivers aren't on that.
Yep.
So your Jamie Whincups and your Craig Lowndes and stuff like that, possibly. But most of the other drivers are not on that much money. Now, there was rumours that he was going to have to take a big pay cut, but his managers come out and said, I'm not taking a pay cut.
No.
They're looking for the same money.
Yeah, pretty much. It says, despite expectations that several drivers will face a decreased salary next year, Alan Glow, who's James Courtney's manager, rebuffs suggestions that Courtney is in for a pay cut. Is like, the pay cut is not going to happen. James has a certain value in the sport, both as a driver and his profile, and I can absolutely say there is no discounting of James's worth. Very nicely worded.
Yeah.
Basically saying, pay me $1 million.
Yeah.
And
It'll be interesting. I think Nissan want him pretty bad. It was all coming down to Nissan,
if Nissan
Japan.
stay, yes.
And I think that should be out this week. The
Hopefully.
announcement.
This announcement of James Courtney, the deal should be done within a week. So there's every possibility by the time this goes to air, by the time this goes online
To data.
yeah, to online, on Wednesday, Thursday, it could be solved. We don't know, but at the moment, I'm thinking that he's probably going to go to Nissan. I would like to see Ryan at Walkinshaw start clean slate, get Scotty Pye in, and then Lucas Dumbrell's
seats.
Lucas Dumbrell's come out and said he can't offer Nick Percat a seat next year. He said, I'm not in a position.
Yeah, he needs a sponsored driver.
He needs a sponsored driver. So he's like, he can't give it. So, and Nick understands that. So he's been talking to other teams. I think he should go to Ryan Walkinshaw. And so she's Scotty Pye.
I'm sure he'll be knocking on that door.
You got Scotty Pye and Nick Percat in a race team.
The only bit about poor Scotty Pye is his manager's Roland Dane, and that might be a little bit of a bitter spill for Ryan Walkinshaw to take right now.
Yeah, but...
Do you want to talk to me? Because we need to talk about Scotty again.
I don't know. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I just spoke.
Yeah, I think that, I understand where you're coming from. But I just think that if you've got Scotty Pye and Nick Percat in a race team, that's a pretty good, pretty strong driver lineup.
Oh, that's looking to the future.
Yeah,
that is really... Scotty's on pace now. Nick probably needs another year, a decent car.
I think Nick's been set back 12 months from being in the Dumbrell car.
Yeah, and he hasn't had a full-time drive on and off, so no, it'll be good to see where that team goes, and I agree with you 100%. I think, they should. I don't know how much money they're going to have next year because they've obviously lost their major sponsor, so it'll be very interesting because maybe getting rid of Courtney and Garth is a good thing for
I think it's gonna
pay packet.
It's definitely going to open up some opportunities because you get Scotty Pye and Nick Percat are going to be like, what? I don't know. What's a base driver like?
Oh, money-wise?
$200,000?
Majority of the drivers are probably paying to be there. They're not getting a salary.
Yeah.
So they might be getting some money off sponsors and stuff like that helps them.
Yeah, but Scotty Pye and Percat don't have the backing. So what are they going to ask
Scotty Pye,
for?
I reckon, could probably ask for $200,000. I don't think Nick could.
Nah, Nick probably 100, 150.
I don't even think that. I think he'd be happy with $100,000 and I think that's what he'll be happy with. Maybe they can throw in some stuff into their contracts.
Yeah, but then Nick's going to go and be like, you can't give Scotty all this money. I've won Bathurst and Calypso. He hasn't.
Yeah, but Scotty's a more consistent driver, I think. He's proven. But yeah, you're right. They're both going to bring things to the table and they're both going to push their best points.
That's my tip. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Good strong driver lineups.
The
retro round.
The not so retro, super cheap.
The
Chaz Mostert's car.
Apparently 2002. This is 12 years ago.
Wow, it's so
That's
long.
so retro.
Yeah.
God, we didn't even have iPhones back then. How did we communicate?
I don't know.
We still had the internet, so that was fantastic.
Look,
just could internet on the go.
I don't mind the livery that much. It's not a bad livery, and it is very true. Like
I
you
think
pointed this out before,
they've
but
done a very good job of keeping it to the style. I think I'm not a huge fan of the livery, but I think they've nailed it. It looks like the 2002 AU.
Yep.
And I didn't like the look of the AUs.
I think
At least the FG looks much better than AU.
I think really, it's just not retro enough. Now,
No, if you really wanted to pull it off, at least go back to the old super cheap logo.
yeah, I know they're trying to stick to the sponsor's oldest one and whatnot, but I think they really should have gone to not a super cheap one, just an old Ford one, and then stuck super cheap on the side of it. So
Yeah, I understand. Like kind of like when Davey Reynolds did the that green car.
yeah,
No idea what car that was.
what was that car? 44 or something. It was
It was like
copy.
old.
Yeah,
But it was cool because then
was.
they still they just basically same paint scheme, slap your sponsors on it, you're fine.
Yep.
But to be honest, that's kind of what they did in this one.
except for that's not old enough.
I know it's not old enough. It's only 2012.
So
Why
they
do-
need to do exactly what they did there, except not look for a super cheap car and look for a cool old car.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. Like
I can't wait to see all the other cars. It's going to be a pretty cool round.
it should be that Supercars is actually
Not far away.
encouraging fans to dress up.
Yeah.
They're going to have like retro food stands and stuff apparently.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah, I
about
was
that.
reading up
yeah.
about that, and it's just like, yeah, they're going full into it, and they really want to encourage it. So I think it'll be good. Maybe if not all the teams do it, then maybe V8 Supercars need to do a little bit of more encouragement to the teams. But I'm just interested to see what they're going to go at. Like, should they just, like you were saying, choose like, let's go for the old Winfield
Yeah.
Commodore or whatever, the Falcons,
Yep.
and go, all right, we're still that
The
livery
Marlboro
scheme,
and the Winfield and all that. Yeah.
except we don't. No one knows smoke, so
Yeah.
it's fine. And do that, and then just chuck like, your logo over the top of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Like.
like Sign Gel, Sig Gel, whatever it is.
Yeah. Exactly. All the teams should. Nissan obviously can go back to the early 90s.
I'd
when
love
they
to
run.
see Caruso's car done like in the GDR.
Yep. I think that's the sort of stuff they need to be doing is the 90s, the 80s, and even the 70s. But that's the type of liveries I want to see.
Not 2002. Not ones I
2002.
still remember on TV.
Yeah, look, before 2000 minimum.
What about if Triple Eight came out and did like better electrical style, but just with Red Bull?
Hey, I don't mind it. They probably want some money off better electrical, but
Yeah. That won't happen. That's a
No.
stupid call. But no, it's good to see. They haven't seen any more cars yet. But if they come out, we'll chuck them on our Facebook.
yeah, definitely.
I think that's our news section done. Actually, we'll go quick news.
Yes,
Let's,
big news in NASCAR. Well, not NASCAR.
You haven't seen the video yet, so
NASCAR trucks.
we got a new thing we can do here. Let's give this a shot.
Nemechek right on the bumper of Cole Custer.
So what we're
Custer
watching
getting
here is
through.
actually
Here
the
they
super
come through
trucks.
Turn 9. Nemechek gives him a little bump.
This is the last lap.
Custer
Yeah, he's
hanging
into the
on.
back of him again.
Oh,
it's a
it
big
just drives
slide.
him straight
John
off.
Hunter Nemechek
And now
Cole
he's
Custer.
punted him.
They're wrecking and spinning, coming to the line.
They're not even on the racetrack. They're on
Who
the
is it
dirt.
gonna be?
Wow.
Side by side through the grass.
Oh, he's still going. Oh.
I think it looked like Nemechek to me, but I'm not sure.
Surely there's going to be
Did
penalties there.
Hit by
That's
both of them.
all right. That was stupid.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
don't
dangerous.
know what's happened.
At what point did they think maybe I should just keep my foot flat?
And then there's this bit. The two drivers
John Hunter Nemechek wants the flag.
are now
and
running.
They're not going to give it to him yet. He's
gonna get punched up.
Oh!
Cole Custer and Nemechek.
Oh, the driver's having a punch up. Oh, it wasn't that big.
Cole
Got tackled.
Custer did not like the way that race ended.
No one
Did
liked the
not
way
like
that race ended.
John Hunter Nemechek moved him.
That was funny.
That was so bad. Like, such bad racing. How they're allowed to get that bad, I don't know.
Yes, that was unbelievable. While they were driving along the grass, one drove the other car off, and then they just keep their foot.
He just kept his
pinned.
foot into it. Like, he shouldn't have tapped him the second to last corner to begin with, where he already pushed him off.
Mm.
And I don't know, like, we only watched the last 2 turns before the final, the checkered flag. But there has to be some backstory or something to that. But that's just stupid.
It is very, very.
I'll
very
link
stupid.
the videos in the show in the show notes if you haven't seen it. But it was.
What do they say afterwards? Let's watch the interview. We
Alright.
can always cut it later.
Well, a lot of emotion. Your thoughts the last lap and after the race?
I don't know. We had a really fast truck. Just got taken out. He hit me going into the second to last corner. Then he hit me again. So I don't know what else to do. But that's how it is, I guess.
I caught the 0-0 there, and we didn't wreck him for the win. Robin's racing, but if I would have been in the same spot, he would have done the same thing to me to get a win.
Now, I know Cole Custer was a little displeased with you there at the end. Do you plan on having a conversation with him after this?
No, we'll just kind of see where it goes. If we have a conversation, we will. If not, we won't.
Wow, thank you, Captain Obvious. If we
That
have a
was a Haas
conversation,
team.
we will, and if we don't have a conversation, we won't.
Did you see the bloke
Yes,
that tackled
it is
him?
a Haas team.
Haas?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. But yeah, that's NASCAR. Woo!
Yeah. I guess news is done now.
Yep.
I think that was fairly successful. Moving on, Formula 1.
Yes.
Pretty boring race.
Yeah.
There was some stuff happening,
There was some stuff.
and then there was,
Not
40
much.
odd laps in between that.
God,
The
I'll
start
tell you
was
one
pretty
thing
cool.
though. I forgot how quick these cars can get around this track.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it going, far out, 54 laps or whatever it was. I'm like, this is going to take forever and get up. Like, it's late at night here. It starts at 9:30. It finishes at 11:30. Got up, make a coffee, come back, missed Ricciardo's overtake. Like, what the hell? I found videos of it, so I have seen it. It was fantastic. But, God, you just get up for like 2 seconds and you miss a lot.
Yeah, that overtake was unbelievable.
It was crazy.
He come from so far back.
Yeah, and it didn't even look that big of a dive originally because he wasn't.
He made it look easy.
He wasn't side by side.
No, he
pretty
was
much
way
came
back.
up
He was at
behind,
least a
way
car
back,
back.
way back, and then he's brakes up, not braking yet, and then darts through.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm doing this with my hands. I know it doesn't show well on the internet, but my hands are doing what the cars are doing.
Yes. Look, I think he put it best in his own words, actually, in the post-race interview. And he said, I could see that Valtteri had seen him.
Yep.
He said, Valtteri is a very fair driver, and I knew that he'd give me room.
I think
so
that's
I just
good.
went for it.
I like the fact that these drivers, and Ricciardo's already managed to build a reputation that people know that he's going to go for these passes, but he's going to be a fair driver.
Yeah, he still gave
Give
Valtteri
some room.
room on
Like,
the exit.
I've got the footage here. We'll load this up.
Fastest lap, look at that. That's
Look how far back he is now. He's still behind him.
Oh, that's 4 or 5 car lengths back.
And then Ricciardo drives off.
Unbelievable.
That was a good move.
Brundle said it himself. Pass of the year so far.
Yep. No, it was well done. And actually some great passes happened into the first chicane there. Jensen did some great passing there.
Yeah, and out of that chicane, he did some good passing
Yeah.
as well.
But he passed like 2 cars he passed 1 car going into it, and then he's like gone up, I don't know how, but he's then
Desmo?
passed them up the inside again. Can't
Yeah.
remember whereabouts. It was earlier on in the race. But yeah, he just passed these 2 cars fantastically well done. And you're like, this guy's not racing next year. Why?
Yeah.
And the pass that he does on Alonso was really well too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm loading this up. They're basically side by side.
Is Button going to have a go on his teammate? He is. He's going to go down the inside. Jensen Button on Fernando Alonso. Beautifully controlled.
And then
very nicely done. That's not the first time
Alonso
today Jensen Button
had a nice
has
look
pulled
up the
move
inside
through
the next
Yeah,
corner.
he did.
Yeah, that's
But it
pretty
was just-
cheeky.
I mean, they both knew they gave each other room. It worked out. It was quite nice. But yeah, it was good racing. It was good to see Jensen being nice and quick and doing these fantastic overtakes.
Yeah, definitely. It was great to see Jensen roll. Onto the start of the race.
Yep.
Ham went nowhere. Bring it up, mate.
Man, this century.
So they're all coming in to warm up their tyres and park on
How
their grid
good was
spots now.
this? Flares everywhere in this. Like, in this ground.
Yeah, they love them in Italy.
And the banks and letting off the flares and giving Monza that extra.
But there is something about the cars lining up on the grid on Monza. Like at Monza, when you know they're lining up, it's such a high speed track. It does produce good racing.
It's an exciting track. I can't believe they're thinking about letting it go.
Oh, you can't let Monza go. It's got so much history.
Formula One should be paying Monza to go to Monza.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Is Monza. Take off the downforce.
It's a big slide by Ocon.
Yeah, he's some nice big clutch dumps, warming the clutch up, and the wheel and the tyres.
All right, so all the cars.
It's making everyone wait.
Yep. All the cars are in formation now. Green flag.
Green flag, green flag, and we should have red lights pretty soon. There we go. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5 red lights.
And go.
What can he do today?
Look.
He didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and you look at Vettel. He jumped past him straight away.
And then Kimi does a big lock up, and so does Felipe.
Felipe, I was surprised didn't hit anyone.
I thought he could. I was expecting there to be a crash. I thought when I saw Felipe lock the brakes, I'm like, don't crash. I thought he was, because
I thought he was going to pin someone. Yeah, I thought he was going to be straight in the side of someone, but he
and same
did well.
Same as when Kimi popped sideways at the start there, I thought, he controlled that really well. He got that back under control straight away.
After the start, Verline, however you pronounce it, did a great job over the weekend. He was really impressive.
He's showing some good form. Like, he qualified really well.
Either they've developed this car a bit more. I was listening to the broadcast and they were talking about that Manor targeted this race before the start of the year, so they actually engineered their car for the Monza round.
Yep.
They were trying to pick up a point here. It's unfortunate that they didn't. They had a mechanical failure in his car, and Ocon had problems as well and ended up 2 laps down. So it's a real shame that. But such a strong effort in the last 2 races from Verline.
He's really impressed me. He has.
Unbelievable.
He's one of those drivers, to be honest, at the start, I didn't even really pay all that much attention to. I always look at the new drivers coming in, but then you see after a few rounds, you're like, how are they going? He's not really impressing me.
Well, he wasn't. When Harriento was driving beside him, he was not
He needed
really
that person
doing
to
anymore.
push him.
And now Ocon, they don't get along at all. And
most people don't get along with their teammates.
Oh, this is from prior racing. So they don't get along at all. And yeah, maybe it's fueled the fire or something. Because Pascal is actually quite a good driver.
Oh, yeah.
He won the GTM World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, in 2014?
I think so. Don't quote me.
14 or 15? Maybe it was last year. I'm not sure.
No, was he racing? Is this his first year?
This is his first year in Formula One, I think. So anyway, yeah, he's doing a great job. And I think maybe now that he's been pushed, he's going a lot better.
Sorry, I just want to see. He raced DTM up to 2015. Due to inconsistencies of most teams and drivers, Verline won the title easily, having scored in all rounds except for 3. He achieved 5 podiums, 1 fastest lap, 2 wins, and was the first driver to win a championship, having not claimed a pole position throughout his championship season, while being the youngest ever DTM champion. So that's not a bad effort.
Yeah, no, solid effort. Really good.
And he's doing really well in Formula One now. He's picked up his game. It's just been good.
And he was Mercedes' little wonder boy as well.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him doing well, and that's good for Mercedes. Esteban.
Good to
Very solid qualifying.
Yep.
But a shocking start. What did he qualify? He got into...
Esteban qualified 10th.
There you go.
Yeah, he was he fell back so far at the start of the race. It was just unfortunate.
Yeah, all that solid effort he put in qualifying and impressed everyone. Went nowhere.
Yeah, I was really impressed that he got up to 10th. Like, that's... So. I expect... If I expect a Haas to get into Q3, I expect Grosjean.
Yeah, same. It was impressive. It actually really impressed me that he got up that far, and he was way ahead of Grosjean. But yeah, just he couldn't hold it together in the race. Ferrari 2-stopping. What did you think of that? Do you reckon Hamilton sold on a dummy when he said the tyres are going off?
Yeah, I do a little bit.
They
I
went
think that's
into
a little bit-
survival mode.
A little bit of gamesmanship.
Yeah. Look, I'm sure Hamilton's tyres were probably overheated from passing people.
Yeah, but let them cool back down.
And then once he let them cool down, they come back to him. So maybe there was some truth in it. But I think Ferrari went to survival instead of aggressive mode.
Yeah, I wasn't super surprised that they went 2 stops.
Well, everyone
Most
apart
people
from
did.
Mercedes pretty much went 2-stop.
Yeah. Then they went on the hards, which they only had, the mediums, but they only had 1 set of mediums.
Yeah.
So it was, they got to work. They did long time on them. I was
Um,
really impressed. I know we're
yes.
just jumping all over the shop, but Red Bull's pit stop of Ricciardo to put him onto the super softs at the end, I think that was a really smart call.
Yeah, that was good pressure. And really, that's what got him the position over Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah. Those newer tyres, and by the time, because they had the softer rubber, but
he shouldn't have beaten Bottas.
No.
But he did.
No. Yeah.
And that's impressive.
And he was really happy over. Like he was stoked.
Shaka
on that
bra.
pass. Shaka bra. Yeah, it was.
He was into it.
It
It was good to see, and it's good to see him back on that. I think he's at his best when he's happy like that.
Yeah, he seems like he doesn't have a care in the world. He's just enjoying the fact that he's a Formula One driver and he gets to drive these cars.
So the Max show has slowed down a bit now, and he can get back to the Daniel Ricciardo
proved
show.
that he's just a mere mortal.
Yep, and he's doing great.
He actually, now we know he lost a heap of ground at the start, but to return to 7th, I think that was a really good effort. And he
solid.
just kept it out of trouble when he needed to.
Yep, agreed.
And these are
mate.
the type of things that you need to do if you're going to win a championship.
Yep. No, he did a great job to get it back up there. Red Bull weren't that convincing, to be honest.
No,
at
I
this track.
thought they would be closer to Ferrari. I thought they'd be fighting more with Ferrari, but they really didn't look like they could get anywhere near the Ferraris.
Yeah, no, they had no chance at this track. So, which was surprising. I thought after Spa, how good they looked. But Spa has a lot more high downforce sections. So, Ricciardo's pass, that was unbelievable.
Did we touch on that?
We did.
We
I
did.
think that was the first thing we talked
It's
about.
fantastic.
It was unbelievable.
It was.
And what do you think of Alonso having a good chuckle about the manners? We're competing with manner, and then making a decision to come in and put on some tyres and do the fastest lap of the race. Mind you, the first time Honda's got the fastest lap of the race in 24 years.
I love that he got the fastest lap of the race.
Wouldn't you love to put money on that? That must have paid like $50.
Going strong till the end. Grosjean is still out there on 18 lap
Sorry,
old
it was a
options. He may
Haas.
come towards us.
I love it. Grosjean may come towards us. It's good. I said this earlier this afternoon. I just love the way that Alonso and Button have just got away with so much at Honda. They're like, you put us in the shitbox for 12 months. Honda have really only just started to look good.
They have. And
Last
they
year,
really
they were
stepped
a
up the
joke.
development this year.
And I think that the drivers actually put up with the cars really well. They handled the fact that they were in these crappy cars for 12 months surprisingly well, very well professional, and now they're just like, I don't care.
There are a couple of comedians, actually,
They
at some
are.
points.
Like the other round was like, Jensen, he's like, I need a box. It says, you got to stay out. Oh, this is going to be good.
This is going to be a great afternoon.
Yeah, and then that, it's good fun. Everyone's having a good laugh.
Another solid race by Nico Rosberg. You can't knock him. He didn't do anything wrong.
No, he did everything he needed
Controlled
to.
the race perfectly and just stayed out in front.
He won it. He won it off the start.
Yep.
Talking about the start, I've queued up the start of the race, and this should have the onboard of Hamilton. What do you think went wrong there?
Well, yeah, when I was watching it and they showed the replay of it, it looked like he got a bit of wheel spin off the line and he just never gathered it after that.
Because I did look, like you don't... Let's watch it. We'll have a look.
In it. And let's watch the front row.
At the start.
He's not leaving big black tracks.
Well. Alonso.
He's not actually leaving any marks.
Shunted to one side by Massa. And Hamilton by that stage already down in 5th.
Also, when you watch his onboard, it doesn't light the
lights don't go.
Yeah, it doesn't light the.
Steaming up the
Jesus,
inside.
Here's the
Massa
start
was
again.
lucky.
Up in the Williams.
Yeah.
And,
God, look at the start
car in the
from,
middle of
I don't know
the
who that
Gutierrez
is.
nearly
Gutierrez
Jumped over
barely
Max.
moving at all.
Because Max had a
I
horrible
think
start.
that was
Towards the
Hulkenberg.
back. He's now
Yeah.
past Button up into 18th as Gutierrez.
And look at Massa
You can
go.
see the white
Jeez.
Williams there.
Oh, that was
Massa
so
got
close
away
up on
with
the
that
Force
one.
India.
Max so
Yeah.
often see a car up on two wheels.
Only
of them
3 cars went to
going
the
through
escape
little
route.
shortcut.
There's Jenson Button and the 2 Saubers.
On
We're
board with-
now with Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian, thanks, Ted. Not Ted.
Great
Crofty.
reactions from him.
Crofty, yes.
Quickly recognising that Hamilton's not getting away and threading the eye of a needle with his Ferrari. They'll be looking in the mirror to see what's around. And they wouldn't want the same problem
And
as
the
last weekend.
Spanish-
And
oh,
that's
the
the crowd
Spanish.
reaction to a 2-3
Italian.
for Ferrari.
Italians.
Imagine if they go into the lead.
Don't
Here's
tell
it,
them.
this is it.
No podium in the last 4
Bogs
races
down.
for Ferrari.
He just didn't get off the line. Like, you
What
just.
happened with Hamilton?
It's odd, wasn't it? I mean,
And then once he gets hit,
once
after he gets past, he just basically just like.
didn't get away, he just didn't move.
Once he got passed by the first 4 cars, it seems like he just dropped it back a gear anyways. Just like, all right, just hold this position, I guess.
It did kind of seem like that, and maybe that was a bit tactical from him. He didn't want to charge into the first corner and crash out and lose a whole heap of points, so he just consolidated of where he was and went, keep my nose clean here and I'll fight to the end.
Well, he knows he's got a fast enough car to get past everyone anyway.
Yep.
But I did watch the lights on the steering wheel, and off the line, I don't think they went out of the green. And then
No,
they didn't go
no.
very high at all.
No.
Just like the revs weren't there.
Myself
there's no-
last night, I kind of thought he was in the wrong engine mode, but they didn't make any mention of it
No,
after
and
the
they
race.
said it wasn't driver error. I don't know what's...
It could be a clutch bite issue. You can
They
still
have
get
had
wheel
a lot
spin.
of issues with the clutch. They've had so much inconsistencies with their starting.
Yeah, the Ferraris looking good
Ferraris
again.
are lightning off the line.
Yep, looking good again. So, I don't know. We've got no answers for you there, Michael, but yes, definite.
We've sort of touched on the race and how it sort of was... There's not huge talking points to take away from it.
No, other than a few good passes, the race was pretty mediocre. It was just Rosberg got out in front, dominated, kept his nose clean, and just kept a good gap, and no safety cars to tighten it all up. That could have made it interesting, but other than that, it was it was quite interesting to see some of the good passing. But other than that, not much else. Podium.
The podium.
That was interesting.
That was.
Da 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 da.
The podium did go on for a while, though. Like, it
Went on longer than normal, a lot longer.
I mean, I quite like Eddie Jordan. He's someone that doesn't do the podium all that much. But I don't know, he doesn't care. He'll say exactly what he thinks.
Yeah, I like Eddie as well. He's great, great presenter.
On the podium, when Rosberg and Hamilton first come out, they're not getting many cheers. And then, I've loaded this up here. Sebastian's actually pretty good in Italian.
Yeah, he's been practicing pretty
You
heavily.
have to. If you drive for Ferrari, you have to speak Italian. It's true.
I mean, this is dream time, but nevertheless,
Look at that. That shot right there.
How soon can you take these boys from Mercedes on? How soon can you be on the top of the podium? Well, we try. We're working.
It was... Sorry, I just get distracted watching it. But it's just crazy to see how many people are out there.
Nico, a wonderful day for you.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
He gets booed.
I mean, this makes it unbelievable, and
And then I think he's worked out like, oh,
because I have a lot of friends and grew up with the culture, so all the more.
no one gets booed when they speak Italian.
Yep.
In Italian. Let's go to Italian. Parliamo italiano.
There you go. Oh, we love you, Nico. You're the fantasticest person. And then you can see Hamilton somewhere trying to get his phone out to get some Google Translate going. So I want some Italian love. This bit. How cool was it hearing them all sing that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Eddie's trying to get control.
It's just like, I don't know what's going on with it, but I didn't know what was going on too with this thing. I'm messaging you. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this podium today? It was all
magical.
kinds
It
of
was
crazy.
great.
It was fantastic. It was a great way to end the European race season. Well, yeah, we'll call it the race season. The
Yeah,
last of
stand
the
of
European race.
rounds. Yep. No, it was solid.
And now we
That's
got
a great way to finish it. That podium it's the podium of the year.
It is. There's
100%.
no podium like that.
I can't see where the people stop along the straight.
No.
And it's a long straight.
It's a huge straight. You don't see anything like that.
Looking forward. Singapore? Who's your pick? Let's make some picks here.
Let's make some picks in Singapore. All right.
And we'll go Sandown after that as well.
Yeah,
Quickly.
we'll just quickly do these. I think Singapore's a good chance for Ferrari to win a race this year, but I also think it's a good one for Red Bull. I'm 50-50 between Vettel and Ricciardo in Singapore.
It's a big call.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes didn't have a good run there last year. They had a lot of problems. And the year before, Nico Rosberg had a lot of problems there with electrical problems and stuff like that, gremlins in the car. I agree with you. I don't think Ferrari. I think Red Bull has moved forward on Ferrari on that type of track. So I think
it is a track that definitely suits the Red Bull.
I reckon, it is going to be an awesome race because honestly, I don't really know which team's going to be the fastest. It's going to have 3 really quick teams at Singapore, and I'm hoping Danny can get up, Ricciardo. If not, I think Max Verstappen's in with a good run as well. Sandown.
I think we touched on this last week.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, Triple Eight.
Yeah, Triple Eight. It's going to be hard to beat them.
Yeah.
Especially with 3 quick cars now.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening, guys. That's all for this week.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice show. Don't forget to check out our Facebook. We're facebook.com/Breaking Late.
Don't forget to hit us up at our Twitter as well, at Breaking Late.
At Breaking Late _FM.
There you go.
And if you got any questions or whatever, you can hit us up on Facebook. You can just tag us in a post or whatever. We'll try and answer it. Or if you want to send us any feedback or whatever, you can email it through to us. We're breakinglate@gmail.com.
Too easy.
So we'll see you guys after Sandown in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long one. We got a week.
Well, we got a weekend in between. Yeah. So look forward to those races. I'm thinking there could be some good races actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Talk to you guys then.
Da, 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 da.